Hey, really looking forward to this season this year. We've had a lot going on in the off season with the COVID and, being out of school and not getting to do spring training and just wondering what was going to happen. So everything's been kind of up in the air. But I'm really proud of our guys for continuing to work, not knowing what's ahead. So we've worked hard. We've had 2 real good months of hard work. We've gone 5 days a week in June and July, which is kind of different. We've gone 4 days a week, but we've gone 5 days a week these last 2 months. So we've asked a lot out of the kids, and they've done a great job of responding and working hard every day. And so we work on our core strength and our foot speed, footwork drills. Then we lift weights. Then we go on the field. So it's been 9 to 12, especially in July with a big group, 9 to 12, 3 hours of hard work. And so the players have put a lot into it. The assistant coaches have put a lot into it. So we're really looking forward to this year in Bearville. We've got a lot of good players coming back. We've got some younger guys coming up we expect to see a lot out of. Just starting off with the offense, of course, we got Jermaine Bruton back. He'll be a 4-year starter quarterback for us. Phenomenal athlete, phenomenal character kid. We're expecting him to throw the ball a little more this year than what he's done in the past. We've got several receivers. We feel like one of any of them can make plays at any time. We've got Luke Bennett, J. Reed Phillips, Ty Miles, A.J. Staten. We've got some guys back out who didn't play last year, Zay Plummer, Malik Shandell. We've got a lot of guys we think can run routes and catch balls and hopefully block well. So we think there's a lot of option for us spreading the field out. We've got several guys who are going to play running back. You got DJ Bell who can play running back. He can be a wildcat back. He also can be a receiver. We've got L.J. Newton who played running back last year, who's a solid football player. We've got Donelius Johnson who played inside linebacker for us last year, and he'll play that again this year. But he also will run the football some this year. We've got his little brother Nook. Nook, we're expecting a lot of love at linebacker and running back, so they'll play a little bit on both sides of the ball. So we've got 4 guys we feel like can run the football. Offensive line, we've got some good players coming back. We've got both our guards back, Jeffrey Gray and Tommy Yeomans, real smart kids, 2 guys with big hearts that work hard, real blue collar type players. We've got our center back, Patch Bennett. Patch has gotten a lot bigger in the all season, a lot stronger. Patch is about 6'3", 265, and he's got some scholarship offers right now. So he's got people looking at him. Patch he's really what you want at center, real smart kid, and he's got enough size to be able to block, a big nose. But he just understands whatever you ask him to do. We changed a lot of stuff, and there hadn't been a real hiccup this summer. Usually, center is a big issue and a big focus because you got to snap the ball, you got to make calls, you got to be able to block people, you got to be able to protect in a passing game. And Patch can really do all that pretty good. So we're looking forward to see how the offense is going to look. I think the main difference is we're just kind of moving away a little bit from a wing T type offense, going to more of a spread type offense. But we also can put two tight ends, 2 backs in there if we want to, and run it right at you. So I think we've got, with the bodies we've got this year, we've got a lot of options offensively. And I'm really looking forward to see, how everything turns out offensively. But it all starts with those 2 guys who touch the ball every play, and that's Patch Bennett and Jermaine Bruton. So, and those are 2 good players who have a lot of experience. So I feel real good about where we are offensively. We still got to get some good work in before we get to game 1. But I'm happy where we are. I'm happy how we've worked. Defensively, I thought we played great defense last year. We were a little bit lacking in pass defense and making plays on balls in the air. But as far as playing run defense, we didn't have but 1 player all year rush for 100 yards on us. So we know we've got to get better in the secondary. We've got to defend the pass better. We've got to make plays on the ball better. And we've got guys back. We got 3 guys back who played last year. So we ought to be better. We got to replace Deion Bell at safety and Dewitt Bell at outside linebacker. Those are 2 good players for us. but we've got the bodies to replace them. In the secondary, we've got, of course, A.J. Staten back. You've got Ty Miles back. Those were two corners last year. We've also got some guys. We're going to practice kids and play kids on both sides of the ball this year. So we also that automatically gives you depth. So we've got DJ Bell who can play cornerback too. We've got Luke Bennett, some of those other receivers that could play somewhere in the defensive backfield for us. But you've got Dayton Baker back at safety, started last year every game as a sophomore, so he ought to be a lot better player this year. We've got to figure out who the other safety is going to be. We've got some guys we're working there. It could be Vaught Bruton, which is Jermaine's little brother. I mean, it could be one of several guys. So we're still working on trying to put the pieces together and see who's going to step up and take start spots in the secondary. But I think we've got the bodies there, and I think we're going to be athletic enough to be able to be a lot better in the secondary than we were last year. Linebacker wise, of course, we've got our two inside linebackers who probably are the best duo in the state, any class. We've got Donelius Johnson and Austin Jernigan. Both those guys can play for anybody. Both those guys are smart. They're high character kids. Both of them are real strong in the weight room, understand the game, can see the box, all the movement in the box real well. So I feel real good about our two inside linebackers. I'm as happy as I've been in probably my career about going into a season with the two inside guys I've got. Outside linebacker, we've got several guys. We've got L.J. Newton, who played running back last year, and we're working him over there on defense. We're working Nook Johnson, Donelius, his little brother, also at outside linebacker. He's looked real good at outside linebacker. We've got uh, the boat right boy at outside linebacker, Allen. Allen's been working at outside linebacker. So we've got three guys right there. We know all three of those guys can play. We've got a couple of younger guys that could fall into the mix with the defensive backs or with the linebackers. But those three right there are your main guys that come to mind. Defensive line wise, we've got Seth Foster back, who started every game last year. Seth's a big boy. He's about 6'3", 310. Hopefully we can shave a little bit of that off of him before we get to game one. But Seth's a really good football player, great kid. He's kind of like we were saying today, he's like a manatee, except he's got teeth. He looks real safe and harmless, but he's like a manatee with teeth. You better watch out because he's big enough to hurt you, and he'll bite you. So we're glad to have Seth back. He's going to be a real good player for us this year. We've got some other guys that are going to have to come in at defensive ends. We've got John Mangier, who played wing back, tight end type position for us last year. He's had a good summer. We expect a lot out of him. We've got some other guys that play offensive line that are going to play also on the defensive line to give us depth. We really expect a lot out of Ty Everson, who will be our tight end, or one of our tight ends. We also got Ty Little, who played defensive line all last year. And he'll be a offensive tackle and play defensive end. We've also got Knox Bennett, who played kind of a wing back tight end hybrid last year. Ended up having knee surgery about game 7. Right, who's really starting to play good football, but he's back 100% healthy. So he's another guy who can play at tight end with Ty Everson. He also can play at defensive end. Him and Ty can also, do the same thing on the other side of the ball. So by playing some kids both ways, we feel like, and learning both ways, we feel like we can have depth on both sides of the ball that you're going to need if you go through a 15-game schedule. Kicking game wise, we've got actually 2 kickers who are really, really good. We've got our kicker back from last year, Robert Jacobs. Robert's had a great summer, had a great winter going to camps, and we're expecting a lot out of Robert. He did a great job last year. I mean, he had a great year. He was he may have been 100%, like 42 out of 42 on extra points. Hit some real big field goals for us during the season. But we've also got an upcoming sophomore, Jonah. Jonah right now has been going to camps. He's gone to a national kicking camp, finished in the top 10. So we've got depth at kicker. So that's going to be a fun battle just to watch those two kick it. you got to think Robert's going to be the kicker, but Jonah's going to push him. I know that. Uh, Jonah and Robert both are putting the ball in the end zone on kickoffs right now. So I've never really had depth at kicker. So this is going to be neat. It's going to be neat to have two different guys, hopefully, who can put in the end zone on the kickoff and guys who can kick 40-yard field goals. So I feel real good about where we are in the kicking game. I think we're going to try to have Knox Bennett be our long snapper. We're still working on short snapper. We've got some guys, Henry Piegler, uh, and Luke Bennett, both I think are working on being short snappers for us. But by the time we get to our first jamboree, hopefully we've got that ironed out. Who's going to be the guy? But speaking of those defensive ends, Ty Little and Henry Piegler, those are two offensive tackles. Henry, I didn't mention, also will be a defensive end or anywhere on the defensive line. So Henry's tackle on offense, Ty Little's a tackle. You got Asher Harris on the offensive line. I don't know how much Asher will play on the D line, but he can play anywhere on the offensive line for us. So that gives us depth at all five positions just because he can snap it. He's a real smart kid. He can play any position, learn any position. So what I think we've got on the offensive and defensive line with guys playing both ways, they're learning both sides. We got guys who are smart. We got guys, that can, I think, play well, but I think they can think well. And, a lot of times that, it doesn't matter how smart you are if you can't play, and it doesn't matter how strong you are, how fast you are if you can't think. Well, I think we've got more guys this year who can think and play. And, if we can be a smarter football team, and that goes with all aspects of the game, pre-snap, during play, post-snap, everything about the game, I think we got a chance to have a really good football team. Now, you still got to go out there and play. And when you pull up to another town, I'm sure those towns are going to have guys that can play too. So, it's high school football. I'm just really looking forward to playing this year. We've had so much junk going on in our country that's just negative, that I'm ready for football. I'm ready for high school football. I hope college football plays, but I'm definitely ready for high school football because you got 16 to 18-year-old boys in every community across America who need to be doing something. And football is one of the best things left in this country for young boys to be doing. And hopefully, you have coaches in every community who are helping them become young men that will help them become good citizens in their community and help out and be positive influences. And that's what we want our coaches to do: help these guys learn how to be young men one day who become productive citizens, good dads, good uncles, good husbands. So we are really looking forward to this season. So I hope and pray that, here in the state of Georgia, we're going to play football. It looks like we are, but I hope we do. I think for our country's sake, they've tried to keep us out of church. We can't let them keep us off the football field. When you take away church and football, you're taking two of the best things in this country that we have going for us away. So we've got, we need church and we need football. And I don't mind saying that to anybody. Because if 16, 18-year-old boys have idle time, generally they're not going to be involved in a Bible study. So, we need football. We need it. We need church. We need these things. I know there's a pandemic going on, but, we can't just stop everything that's going on in these kids' life and hope for this pandemic to just end, because who knows, it may be here for 5 years, it may be for whatever, so we can't just stop life, or it won't be good for our country. So I want to go on record saying we got to play football. We got to play football. However it's going to look, we got to play football, and that's just one man's opinion. But I want to thank Coastal Pines. I want to thank 912 Sports. And we look forward to seeing everybody this fall. If you have to wear a mask in the stands, wear a mask, okay? But we need football in this country. We need God, we need football, we need family, and we got to protect those things. And so I look forward to seeing y'all, any fans, whoever's watching this. Look forward to seeing y'all on Friday nights, and especially look forward to seeing you guys in Bearville. Thank y'all so much. Go Bears.